Welcome, everyone. My name is Todd Wilson. I hope you are all doing well. And really thinking about these times that we're living in, where so much seems out of our control, can be overwhelming if we try to think of all the things that need to happen to kind of get our lives back to how they were before um, the COVID-19 or coronavirus affected all of us. And thinking about that, I always try to be mindful of focusing on what we are able to do instead of focusing on the things that we can't do. To focus on the things that we can do. And of course, in these times, the things that we can do are wear a mask when we're in crowded public place. Practice social spacing or distancing where we give each other at least 6 feet, and to just be mindful to wash our hands, clean surfaces, cough into our sleeve or elbow, and just to be mindful of how we interact with the world around us. And in doing that, to focus on the things that we can control. And in yoga, it's really a practice of not thinking about the poses you can't do or judging ourselves, but to focus on what we are able to do. And of course, just being able to do yoga is something that can really help us to cope with things that are beyond our control. To remember when we are in a stressful situation or in a place where we don't feel like we have control, to focus on our breath, to notice our posture, how we hold ourselves, and again, how we interact with the world around us. So, as you practice, I always remind people to, focus on what you can't do. What you can do, not what you can't do. And, if you can't do all the poses, don't worry about that. Let the poses that you can't do go and focus on what you are able to do. And in doing that, sometimes just by focusing on what we are able to do, we can do things we never thought were possible in time and just in a step-by-step approach, and to do what we're able to do to get to things that do seem impossible. So with that, let's start with the breath. Closing the eyes, allow your hands to rest wherever is most comfortable for you. Breathing in and out through the nose, start to deepen the breath, and at the same time, slow the breath down. And with each breath in, breathe not only into the upper part of the chest, but take the breath deep down towards the belly and the pelvic floor. As the spine lengthens, the collarbones lift, expand the ribs both forward and back. Just as evenly with each exhale, drawing back in towards the heart center. A slight pause at the top and the bottom of each breath. And slightly restrict the back of the throat just enough to make a sound to gauge the evenness of the breath for Ujjayi breath or victory breath. Staying with this slow, steady, even breathing throughout your practice today. Bring the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. And let's make the sound of Om 3 times, with each Om going from Ah to O to in one smooth, fluid sound. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in. gently press the thumbs against the sternum. As you inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, bow to the heart. Release the hands, lift the head, open the eyes. And you might have a strap or a belt is what I'm going to use, or a bandana will work, or even a towel rolled up, something to just increase the length of your arm to be able to grab the toes or the foot. And you might also, if you don't have blocks kind of being the first choice, a stack of books will work as well, just to use in place of blocks. And just have those where they're easy to get to. And we'll start in child's pose. So go ahead and come down to the knees with the feet back behind you and the arms out in front. And make as much space between the knees as you like to allow room for the belly and to widen the hips. And with the forehead coming down, just allow yourself to relax here for a few breaths. Keeping the forehead down, go ahead and lift the elbows, come up onto your fingertips, and as if you had suction cups on the tips of the fingers, gently pull back with the hands, engaging the shoulder blades more on the back. Then pick up the forehead and the belly and walk the hands towards the right side, keeping the left hip grounded. Take a few breaths over here. Walking the hands back to center and towards the left side, keeping the right hip grounded. Take a few breaths on this side. Walking the hands back to center, come up to all fours. Keep the hips over the knees, then walk your hands out in front, bringing the forehead down for Anahatanasana, heart softening pose or puppy dog pose. Keep the elbows lifted and press down with the fingers, thumbs, and knuckles, engaging the shoulder blades more on the back. If you want a deeper back bend, you might bring the chin or the chest closer to the floor. Walking the hands back to all fours or table pose with the wrists under the shoulders, the hips over the knees. Take a few breaths here with each inhale, breathing into the back of the ribs and the back of the waistline, expanding the back of the body. With each exhale, allow yourself to soften and relax and just allow for the fullness of the breath. Then pulling back with the hands, lengthening the spine as you inhale. Bring the head up, the heart forward, the front of the pelvis coming down for cow. Pressing forward with the hands, lengthening the spine as you exhale around the back. For this first cat stretch, you can roll the spine forward and back a few times. On your next inhale, lengthening, coming back up to cow. And as you exhale, rounding back to cat. Go through a few more cat and cows on your own, connecting the breath with the movement while maintaining the length in the spine. Then after your next cat stretch, coming back to table, bring one shoulder, one hip closer together, the other shoulder, the other hip closer together, and just making some movement from side to side. And then coming back to center, go ahead and grab your blocks or your books and bring them to just past the top corners of your mat. And then place the hands about a half a foot in front of the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide and line the crease, the bend of your wrists, parallel with the top of the mat. Tuck the toes with the feet hip width apart and parallel to one another. Lift the knees, lift the hips, and press back to downward facing dog. You can walk the legs out some, bending one knee and the opposite knee. And then coming into a stillness in your down dog. Take a few breaths here. You might start with your knees bent, but first get the arms and the back more in line. With each inhale, lengthening through the spine, lifting the hips. And with each exhale, grounding through the hands and the feet, softening the heart towards the earth. If you straighten the legs, keep the arms and the back in line. Then inhale, forwards plank. Bring the shoulders over the wrists, the heels over the toes. Take a few breaths here, lifting the back of the neck towards the ceiling, lengthening from the top of the head through the heels, with a subtle tilt to the pelvis, the front of the pelvis lifting, tailbone reaching back, getting the legs and the back more in line. Then as you exhale, slowly lower to the earth. Bring the knees, the chest, and the chin down. Slide forward, drop the top of the feet, and come up onto the forearms for Sphinx. The elbows right under the shoulders, palms down flat, pull back with the hands and the forearms. And as you lift the heart, broaden the shoulders, and take a few breaths here, allowing the upper back to soften. Then coming back down, bring the hands next to the ribs, with the wrists right under the elbows. Lift and lengthen the right leg, and place it back down. Lift and lengthen the left leg, and place it back down. Keeping the tops of the feet down, tone the calves, the thighs, and the tush. Peel the shoulders away from the floor. Pull back with the hands, lengthening the spine as you inhale. Gently rise up to cobra. As you exhale, come back down. Legs toned. Peel the shoulders back. Pull back with the hands, lengthen as you inhale. Rise up. Exhale, come back down. And again, legs toned. Peel the shoulders back. Pull back with the hands, lengthening as you inhale. Rise up. Take a few breaths here this time. Keep the shoulders wide, legs toned, allowing the lower back to soften some, and distributing the weight through the fingers, thumbs, and knuckles. Bhujangasana. Cool. Then as you exhale, come back down, tuck the toes, lift the knees, thighs, and hips, keep the legs and the back in a line, and press all the way up to plank. Inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, lift from the belly to press back to downward facing dog. Inhale to bring the right leg up to a three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest, lift the hips and float the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bring the knee towards the right elbow or tricep, tap it if you can. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bring the knee towards the left elbow, tap it if you're able to. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, knee to chest, lift the hips, and as lightly as you can, step the foot between the hands. You can come up onto your fingertips, or you might use your blocks or your books and your hands for more of a lift. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the spine and through the top of the head. If you lift the toes, you'll get more of a stretch through the back of the leg. As you exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, and extend the heart forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, heart forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the top of the head. Exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, heart forward. Bring the back knee down. Lift the heart, lift the ribs, and inhale the arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart, and stick out the tongue for dragon breath. Inhale, sweep the arms, exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms, exhale. Inhale, bring the arms up, hook your thumbs together, gently pull the thumbs apart, keeping the shoulders plugged in as the heart lifts. As you exhale, bring the hands down, and then walk the right foot towards the right side. Switch the hand and the foot. Lead with the inside of your thighs so the ankle stays under the knee. You might stay on the hands, or the option to come down to your forearms on the floor, or you might use blocks under the forearms for the midway point. But just make sure that your shoulders stay level with the earth. Don't bring one arm down without the other. And then pick up your back knee for lizard. Draw in with the hands and the feet towards the core, towards the belly button, lifting the back of the neck towards the ceiling, lengthening from the top of the head through the back heel, relaxing as much as you can while holding the shape of lizard. And feel free to rock a little forward and back, just exploring the sensation in that right hip. Then bring your back knee down. Come back up to the hands. Walk the right foot back in. Pick up the back knee and inhale the right leg back to a three-legged dog. Keep the hips level with the earth. Rotate the right thigh in, toes pointing towards the floor. Press through the fingers, thumbs, and knuckles to extend through the heel as you lengthen through the spine and the top of the head towards the hands. As you exhale, bring the foot to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the earth. Slide forward, drop the top of the feet, lengthen as you inhale, rise up to cobra. Come back down, tuck the toes, press up, and exhale back to down dog. Inhale the left leg up to a three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest, lift the hips and float the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bring the knee towards the left elbow or tricep, tap it if you can. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bring the knee towards the right elbow, tap it if you're able to. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, knee to chest, lift the hips, and as lightly as you can, step the foot between the hands. And again, fingertips or come up onto the blocks or books. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the spine and through the top of the head. As you exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, heart forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, heart forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lengthening through the top of the head. Exhale, bend the front knee, reach through the back heel, heart forward. Bring the back knee down, lift the heart, lift the ribs, and inhale the arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the elbows, dragon breath. Inhale, sweep the arms, exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms, exhale. Inhale, bring the arms up, hook your thumbs the opposite way you did last time. Gently pull the thumbs apart, shoulders plugged in as the heart lifts. As you exhale, bring the hands down, and then walk your left foot towards the left side. Switch the hand and the foot, lead with the inside of your thighs so the ankle stays under the knee. You can stay on the hands or come down to your forearms, either on the floor or on blocks, but again, make sure the shoulders stay level with the earth. Then pick up your back knee for lizard. Draw in with the hands and the feet towards the core, towards the belly button, lifting the back of the neck towards the ceiling, lengthening from the top of the head through the back heel, relaxing as much as you're able to while holding the shape. And you might rock a little forward and back, just exploring the sensation in that left hip. Then bring the back knee down, come back up to the hands, walk the left foot back in. Pick up the back knee and inhale the left leg back to a three-legged dog. Keep the hips level with the earth. Rotate the left thigh and toes pointing towards the floor. Press through the fingers, thumbs, and knuckles to extend through the heel as you lengthen through the spine and the top of the head towards the hands. As you exhale, bring the foot to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the earth. Slide forward, drop the top of the feet, lengthen as you inhale, rise up to cobra. Come back down, tuck the toes, press up, and exhale back to down dog. Then inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the earth. And interlace your fingers behind the back. Straighten the arms and peel the shoulders away from the floor. Lift the arms, lift the legs, and bring the feet together for Shalabhasana, locust pose. And then switch the way your fingers are laced. Take a few more breaths. Then keep the legs and the arms lifted and release the hands next to the hips, palms facing down. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Extend the arms out on either side, a full breath in and a full breath out. Bring the arms out in front, a full breath in and a full breath out. Stacking the hands, making a pillow, you can either bring the forehead down or turn the head to one side. Toes together, heels falling away from each other, and relax. And then coming back to center, bend the knees, reach back, and grab a hold of the top of the feet, ankles, or shins. If you want to do one at a time, make sure you do both sides for an equal amount of breath. And then press the feet against the hands. As you pull back, peel the shoulders away from the floor. The thighs might lift. The inhale might rock you back slightly. Exhale forward for Dhanurasana, bow pose. If you can keep a hold of the legs and roll to the left side, do that. If you need to release the legs and then roll to the side, you can do it that way. If it's a challenge to grab both, just grab the top foot, but keep both shoulders, both arms back behind you. Coming back to center, make your way to the right side. And again, if you're going to grab one, grab the top foot with the top hand, keeping both shoulders and both arms back behind you. Coming back to center, stack your hands the opposite way you did last time. And then forehead down or turn your head the opposite way, toes together, heels falling away from each other. And relax. Coming back to center, come up to all fours, or table pose, with the wrists under the shoulders, the hips over the knees. Inhale the right arm out in front. Bring your left leg off the mat, back behind you. Keep the hips level with the earth, and take a couple of breaths here. As you exhale, bring the knee, the elbow in, round the back. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow in. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg, staying here, or you might bend your back knee, and on the big toe edge, grab a hold of the top of the foot, ankle, or shin. Press the foot against the hand as you pull back. Keep the hips level with the earth. Left shoulder strong as the left thigh lifts. And release. Bring the hand and the knee back down, take a breath or two. Then inhale the left arm out in front, and the right leg off the mat, back behind you. Hips and shoulders level with the earth, take a couple of breaths here. As you exhale, bring the knee, the elbow in, round the back. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow in. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg, staying here, or bending the back knee. On the big toe edge, grab a hold of the top of the foot, ankle, or shin. Press the foot against the hand as you pull back. Hips level with the earth. Right shoulder strong as the right thigh lifts. And release. Bring the hand and the knee back down. Take a breath or two. Then inhale the right arm off to the side. And as you exhale, thread the right under the left. Bend the left elbow and come up onto the left fingertips. As much as you're able to, bring the back of the head, the back of the shoulder to the mat. Keep the hips level with the earth. You might pick up your left knee, but keep the left foot and toes on the ground. And the option to bring the left arm up, possibly bringing the left hand to the right hip or grabbing the top of the right thigh. Keep your right shoulder strong as it supports your weight, lengthening through the spine, the breath steady. Bring the left arm back up and around. The left knee can come back down. Inhale the right arm off to the side, and exhale, bring the hand back to the mat. Inhale the left arm off to the side. Exhale, thread the left under the right, bend the right elbow, and come to the right fingertips. As much as you're able to, bring the back of the head and the back of the shoulder to the mat. You might pick up your right knee, but keep the right foot and toes on the ground, hips level with the earth. And the option to bring your right arm up, possibly bringing the right hand to the left hip or grabbing the top of the left thigh. Keep your left shoulder strong as it supports you, lengthening through the spine, the breath steady. Bring the right arm back up and around. The right knee can come back down. Inhale the left arm off to the side, and exhale, bring the hand back to the mat. And then come back to sitting on your heels. And you might have your blocks close by, and use your knuckles and your fists. Just give the bottom of the feet and the toes a quick massage. And then coming up onto your knees, and feel free to double your mat or use a blanket under the knees if you want more padding. And then bring your hands around the waistline as if you were tightening a belt the opposite way. Tighten the hands towards the sacrum. Use the hands to press down, grounding the hips towards the knees. As you inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, keep the hips over the knees, and as you exhale, start to tilt back. You might keep the tops of the feet down or tuck the toes if you prefer. Your hands can stay on the hips, or if you do want to go for your heels or your blocks, one arm at a time. Inhale to bring the arm up, lengthening the spine. As you exhale, reach back. If you can grab the heel, you might stay there, or bring your hand to a block next to the calf of the shin, or back to the hip. Then inhale, bring the other arm up, lengthening. As you exhale, bring it back. And whether your hands are on your heels, your blocks, or your hips, make sure that you're not cramming the lower back, but you're still lifting the heart, lengthening the spine, continuing the arc of the spine through the neck and the top of the head for Uttanasana, or camel pose. Carefully, one hand at a time, bring the hands back to the hips and inhale to rise back up. And then bring your hands to the top of the mat, tuck the toes, and press back to downward facing dog. Shift weight to the right hand and bring the left hand to the outside of the right calf. If you need to walk the feet closer to the hand to allow for this, feel free. Press through the fingers, thumb, and knuckles of that right hand. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to look underneath the right arm. Keep the hips and the knees even with one another. The breath steady. Inhale, back to center, place the left hand. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left calf. Press through the fingers, thumb, and knuckles of the left hand. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist to look underneath. Left arm. Keep the hips and the knees even with one another. And take a few breaths on this side. Inhale, back to center, place the hand. Step the feet closer together. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, walk, hop, jump, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale to come up halfway, fingertips to the floor or hands to blocks or your books. And get the legs and the back to straighten. Then heel and toe the feet just wider than the hips, keeping the feet parallel with one another. Pulling back with the hands as you inhale, extend the heart forward, lengthen the spine. Keep the spine long, and as you exhale, fold. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you like. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Let your neck, your head, and your shoulders relax. And you can grab opposite elbows as you gently sway a little from side to side. And then switch the way your arms are laced. And again, you can sway a little. Then release the arms. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the hips, fingers on the front, thumbs on the back of the hips. Ground the hips towards the heels, and as you inhale, lengthen through the spine to rise all the way up to standing. And then step the feet hip width apart and parallel with one another. Inhale, float the arms overhead. Grab a hold of the right wrist, palm facing up. Grounding through the right foot as you exhale, extend towards the left side. Keep lengthening through the right side of the body, opening the heart towards the ceiling. The breath steady. Inhale, back to center, switch hands, grounding to the left foot, exhale to the right. Lengthening through the left side of the body, opening the heart towards the ceiling. The breath steady. Inhale, back to center, switch hands, and then step the left foot to the left side. Pick up the heel, and as you exhale, extend through the arms towards the left side. If you want to try some balance, you might even pick up the left foot. Inhale, back to center, switch hands, step the right foot to the right side, pick up the heel. As you exhale, extend through the arms towards the right, and you might even pick up the foot. Inhale, back to center, feet hip width apart and parallel with one another. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway, fingertips to the floor or hands to blocks. Get strong in the left leg and extend the right leg off the mat, back behind you. Hips level with the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over that strong left leg for the standing splits. If you want to try some balance, you might bring the left hand to the back of the left heel, back of the ankle, or the back of the shin. Inhale, come up halfway, place the hands, bring the right foot back down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, place the hands, get strong in the right leg. Then extend the left leg off the mat, back behind you. Hips level with the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over that strong right leg for the standing splits. If you want to try some balance, you might bring the right hand to the back of the right heel, back of the ankle, or the back of the shin. Inhale, come up halfway, place the hands, bring the left foot back down. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, float the hands to the sky. Then with the feet hip width apart and parallel to one another as you exhale, bend the knees and bring the fingertips towards the floor. Keep the seat low Then inhale the arms out in front. Exhale, sink the seat. Inhale, bring the arms and the torso up 1/4 of the way. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, another 1/4 of the way. Exhale, sink the seat. Inhale, another 1/4 of the way. Keep the seat low. Lift the heart, lift the ribs. And inhale the arms all the way up for Uttanasana, chair pose. Then keeping the knees bent, as you exhale, bring the arms back. Turn the palms to face down. Lift the heels and tip forward for drinking bird. Bring the heels down. Inhale, sweep the arms back up for chair. Exhale, bring the arms back. Lift the heels, tip forward, drinking bird. Bring the heels down. Inhale, sweep the arms back up for chair. One more time. Exhale, bring the arms back. Lift the heels, tip forward, drinking bird. Bring the heels down. Inhale, sweep the arms back up for chair. Then bend the elbows. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the head at the base of the skull. Bring the elbows in, shoulder width apart. Press the head against the hands as you gently lift and lengthen the back of the head and the neck. Shoulders coming back as the heart lifts. Inhale the arms next to the ears. Exhale, sink the seat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, float the hands to the sky. And then step your big toes closer together, heels just apart. And as you exhale, bend the knees and bring the fingertips towards the floor. Keeping the seat low, this time sweep the arms wide, lift the heart, lift the ribs, and inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist towards the left side. Keep the hips and the knees even with one another. Spine long, seat low, breath steady. You might keep the hands together, or the option, release the right hand towards the mat, left hand towards the ceiling. But keep the hips and the knees even, the spine long. Bring the hands back together. Inhale, back to center, and exhale, twist to the right. Again, hips and knees even, spine long, seat low, breath steady. You can keep the hands together, or release the left hand towards the mat, right hand towards the ceiling, keeping the hips and the knees even, the spine long. Bring the hands back together. Inhale, back to center. Come back to standing. Then step the feet hip width apart and parallel to one another. Spread the toes wide and spread the feet out with all 4 corners of the feet connected to the earth. The arches lifting. Rotate the thighs in. Root the tailbone towards the earth. As you inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, allow the arms and the shoulders to relax. Close the eyes and take a few breaths here into Tadasana, mountain pose. And just allowing yourself to relax into this good posture. And then open the eyes. And you might have your blocks ready out in front so they are easy to get to. And then standing at the top of the mat, shift weight to your left foot and bring the right heel just above the left ankle. Hands together in front of the heart. Grounding through all 4 corners of the left foot, lifting the heart. You might stay here or bring the foot to the calf. Or reach down, grab the shin, and bring the bottom of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Keep opening the right thigh behind you. The hands can stay at the heart. Or keeping that heart center awareness, you might bring the arms overhead, possibly opening the arms, opening the fingers for Vriksasana, tree pose. Bringing the hands back to the heart. Bring the right knee out in front. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold, extending the right leg off the mat, back behind you. Stopping about halfway. The blocks are there. If you want to bring the hands down, feel free. Keep the hips level with the earth, back toes pointing down, heart extending forward, and focus on a point at least 3 or 4 feet, maybe further out in front. If you're balanced, the hands can stay at the heart, or they might go back by the hips, palms facing down, off to the sides, or out in front. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Slowly bending your front knee. As you exhale, float yourself back into a high crescent lunge. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to the top of the mat. You might keep your right hand on the mat, or use a block or some books under the hand for more of a lift. As you inhale, extend the left arm off to the side. Keep the hips level with the earth. As you exhale, twist, opening the heart towards the left side. Lead with your left hand, not the wrist. Lead with the shoulder and not the hand, so your wrists stay in line with the shoulders. Keep lengthening through the spine, keeping the breath steady. Then bring the left hand back down and bring your back knee down. And then this is where you're going to use your strap. You might also have a blanket close by, or a block, or your books will work. And if you do want to double your mat to give your knee more padding, feel free, or use a blanket under that. And have your strap ready. I made a loop in mine just to make it easier. And if you lean forward and bend that back knee, if you can grab that right foot or ankle with the right hand, you probably don't need the strap. If that's a bit of a challenge, then bring that strap around the top of the right foot, holding it with the right hand, then bend the knee and bring the strap over the right shoulder. And then your left hand can come to a block or to the thigh, whatever works best for you. And you want to be more on the top of the thigh than the kneecap. So again, start by leaning forward and then walk yourself up taller, keeping that. And that right hand can stay holding the strap, holding the foot, or you might walk the hand further down the leg. You might use the inside of the elbow on the foot. A more advanced option, you might even spin the palm with the fingers pointing up. The left hand, again, can stay on a block on the thigh, or you might even extend the arm towards the ceiling. And then bring the left hand back down. Release the foot. And then walk your left foot towards the left side. Switch the hand and the foot. And angle those left toes out slightly. The heel in, so the knee and the thigh are more in alignment with the toes. Then bring the left hand to the thigh. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist towards the left side. You might stay here. Another option would be to bend your back knee, reach back with that left foot, and grab a hold of the top of the foot, or right foot, with the left hand on the pinky toe edge. If you do have the foot, adjust your right hand so that right shoulder stays under or over the wrist. And there is the option to come down to the forearm. And pressing the foot against the hand as you pull back, open that left thigh more to the left side as you open the heart more towards the ceiling. The big toe edge of that left foot might lift, but keep the ankle strong here. For cattail. And then release the foot, come back to the hands, and then walk that left foot all the way over towards the right hand. You can bring the knee and the shin down for pigeon, and your choice on the angle of the shin. For most of us, it'll be more of a 45-degree angle, pointing the foot in a line with the shin. You might have the shin more parallel with the top of the mat. If that's the case, you'll have a 90-degree angle at the ankle, but be careful with your knee. You want your hips level with the earth. Tuck those back toes. If that left hip is dropping and you're having a hard time keeping them even, this is where you might use your blanket, your blocks, your book, something to give that left hip a little more support and keep the hips even with one another. So feel free to take the time to do that. And then coming down to the forearms or the forehead. And you can release the back toes to point straight back behind you. And as much as you can relax, especially the left hip, do that. If you want to use a blanket or block under the forehead to make it more comfortable, feel free. Again, as much as you can relax, especially that left hip. And then coming back up to the hands, tuck the back toes, and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower either halfway, chaturanga, or all the way to the earth. Slide forward, drop the top of the feet, lengthen as you inhale. Rise up to cobra, or you might straighten the arms, lifting the hips, the thighs, and the knees for upward facing dog. Carefully stepping over the toes, or rolling over the toes, lift the hips, and exhale back to down dog. Then inhale the left leg up to a three-legged dog. Bend the knee, and stack the left hip over the right. Keep your right shoulder strong. You can stir the left foot and ankle. You might stay here, or the option to flip your dog. If you're going to do that, first look forward, shoulders over the wrists. Pivot to the pinky toe edge of the right foot, left foot dropping behind you, left hand to the heart. Inhale to lift the hips, lift the heart, possibly extending the left arm. Left hand back to the heart, back to the mat. Inhale the left leg back to a three-legged dog. Then as you exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Then drop your back foot parallel with the back of the mat and windmill the arms up for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And the front knee over the ankle, the front heel lined up with the back heel or the back arch or in that range, and the front knee and thigh in a line with the middle toe. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, ground through both feet, stretching the hips evenly in both directions, looking past the left, but make sure the left and the right arm are about even. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, ground through the back foot, bend the front knee, and open to Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead. And exhale, Vira 2. Flip the left palm up, right hand to the back thigh. Inhale the left arm overhead. Rotate the heart and the torso towards the front knee. And as you exhale, tilt back, reversing your warrior. And then bend the left elbow, bring the hand to the base of the skull, right above the neck. Back of the right hand to the outside of the left hip. You can stay here or walk the hands closer together, possibly connecting the fingers for the archer's bind. Keep the front knee bent, the heart lifting, and the breath steady. Then inhale the arms back to Warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. And you might have a block ready on the pinky toe edge of the left calf. As you exhale, reach through the left fingers. Right hand to the right hip. Find your block. Your choice on the setting. You might use your shin or the floor, but don't put all of your weight there. Keep the legs strong as you inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist the whole torso to bring the right shoulder back. The right arm can extend towards the ceiling. And if you can keep your right shoulder Stacked over the left, you might extend the arm next to the ear, palm facing down. And the option for the half bind, back of the right hand to the left hip, or grabbing the top of the left thigh. So strong in the legs, you might even consider extending the left arm next to the ear, the palm facing up. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then bring the left hand back down. The right, you can keep the half bind or bring the right hand to the right hip. Bend the front knee, step your back foot in just a step or a half a step. You might have a block ready. After the exhale, spring or step forward. Pick up the back leg and place the hand with the wrist under the shoulder. And then stack the right hip more over the left. The right hand can extend towards the ceiling. And you might stay here, or the option to bring that right knee in towards the chest, grab a hold of the foot or the ankle, pressing the foot against the hand as you pull back for Ardha Chandra Chapasana, or sugarcane pose. And then if you have the foot, go ahead and release back to half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And then slowly, bending the front knee, float yourself back into Warrior Two. Then windmill the hands to the top of the mat, pick up your back heel, step forward, exhale, fold, ground through the feet, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, float the hands to the sky, and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And take a couple of breaths here, just coming back to your center and back to your breath. Again, you might have your blocks ready out in front, shifting weight to the right foot. And you might have that strap ready off to the left. And again, you might have a blanket ready as well. And then shifting weight to the left foot, bring the left heel just above the ankle, hands together in front of the heart, grounding through all four corners of the right foot, lifting the heart. You can stay here or bring the foot to the calf or to the inside of the thigh. Keep opening the left thigh behind you. The hands can stay at the heart, or keeping that heart center awareness, you might bring the arms overhead, possibly opening the arms, opening the fingers for Vrksasana, tree pose. Bringing the hands back to the heart, bring the left knee out in front. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold, extending the left leg off the mat, back behind you. Stopping about halfway, the blocks are there if you want to bring the hands down. Hips level with ear, back toes pointing down, heart extending forward, focus on a point at least 3 or 4 feet, maybe further out. If you're balanced, the hands can stay at the heart, or go back by the hips, palms facing down, off to the sides, or out in front. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Slowly bending the front knee. As you exhale, float yourself back into a high crescent lunge. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, bring the hands to the top of the mat. You can keep the left hand down or use a block under the hand for more of a lift. Inhale the right arm off to the side. Keep the hips level with the earth as you exhale, twist, opening the heart towards the right side. Lead with the right shoulder, not the hands, so the wrists stay more in line with the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. Then bring the right hand back down, bring your back knee down. And again, if you use the strap on the other side, you'll probably want to go ahead and bring that around the top of the foot. Leaning forward, bending that back knee. If you have the strap, bring it over the shoulder. Or if you're going to grab the foot, or that's the ankle, just make sure wherever you're at, you're more on the top of the thigh than the kneecap. So start by leaning forward. Keep that as you walk yourself up taller. The hand can come to a block or to the thigh. You might walk that, keep the hand where it's at, or walk the left hand down the shin. Maybe use the inside of the elbow to hold the foot, or you might spin the palm with the fingers pointing up. Right hand can stay on the block, the thigh, or you might even extend that right arm towards the ceiling. Then bring the right hand back down, release the back foot, and walk the right foot towards the right side. Switch the hand and the foot. Angle the right toes out slightly, the heel in. Then bring the right hand to the thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist towards the right side. You might stay here, or if you can bend that back knee and grab a hold of the top of the foot on the pinky toe edge, feel free. If you do have the foot, adjust your left hand so the wrist stays under the shoulder. You might even come down to the forearm. And pressing the foot against the hand as you pull back, open that right thigh to the right side. Keep the right ankle strong. The big toe edge of the foot might lift, opening the heart towards the ceiling for cattail. Good, then release the foot, come back to the hands, and then walk that right foot over towards the left hand. And again, bringing the knee and the shin down. Your choice on the angle of the shin. Come up onto your fingertips, tuck the back toes, walk yourself up really tall. And you might, you want your hips level with the earth. So again, you might use a block under that right hip, a blanket folded up, or your books, but make sure your hips are even. And then carefully coming down to the forearms or the forehead, release the back toes back behind you. Forward pigeon. And as much as you can relax, especially that right hip, do that. And feel free if you want to use a blanket or a block under the forehead to make it more comfortable. Yourself back up to your hands. Go ahead and tuck the back toes and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower either halfway, chaturanga, or all the way to the earth. Slide forward, drop the top of the feet, lengthening as you inhale, rise to the cobra, or upward facing dog. Stepping over the toes, or rolling over the toes, lift the hips, and exhale back to down dog. Inhale the right leg up, and then stack the right hip over the left, bend the knee, and open a scorpion dog. Keep the left shoulder strong. You can stir the right foot and ankle. Staying here, or if you want to flip your dog, first float forward, shoulders over the wrists, pivot to the pinky toe to the left foot, right foot dropping behind you, right hand to the heart. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the heart, possibly extending the right arm. Right hand back to the heart, back to the mat. Inhale the right leg back to a three-legged dog. Then as you exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. Drop your back heel, and then windmill the arms up for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And again, the front knee over the ankle, the front heel lined up with the back heel or the back arch, or in that range, and the front knee and thigh in a line with the middle toe. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, round through both feet, stretching the hips evenly in both directions, looking past the right, but make sure the left and the right arm are about even. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, ground through the back foot, bend the front knee, and open to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead. And exhale, Vira 2. Flip the right palm up, left hand to the back thigh. Inhale the right arm overhead. Rotate the heart and torso towards the front knee. As you exhale, tilt back. Reversing your warrior. You can stay here. Well, first, bend the right elbow, hand to the base of the skull. Back of the left hand to the outside of the right hip. You might stay here, or walk the hands closer together, possibly connecting the fingers for the archer's bun. Keeping the front knee bent, the heart lifting, and the breath steady. Inhale the arms back to warrior two, straighten the front leg. You might have a block ready on the pinky toe edge of that right calf. As you exhale, reach to the right fingers, left hand to the left hip. Find your block, your choice on the setting, or wherever you place your hand. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist the whole torso, bringing the left shoulder back. Left arm extending towards the ceiling. If you can keep your left shoulder stacked over the right, you might extend the arm next to the ear, palm facing down. And the option for the half bind, back of the right hand to the left hand to the right hip, or grabbing the top of the right thigh. So strong in the legs, you might even extend the right arm next to the ear, palm facing up. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then bring the right hand back down. You can keep the half bind or bring the left hand to the left hip. Bend the front knee and step your back foot in about a step or half a step. You might have a block ready. After the exhale, spring or step forward. Pick up the back leg and place the right hand with the wrist over the shoulder. Stack the left hip more over the right, pointing the left toes towards the left side. Staying here, or you might bring that left knee in towards the chest. Grab a hold of the top of the foot or the ankle, and then pressing the foot against the hand as you pull back for Ardha Chandra Chapasana, or sugar cane pose. And if you have the foot, release back to half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And then slowly bending the front knee, float yourself back into warrior two. Windmill the hands to the top of the mat. Pick up the back heel and step forward. Exhale, fold. Then inhale, come up halfway. And heel and toe the feet just wider than the hips. And angle the toes out slightly, the heels in. Bend the knees and squat down for Malasana, garland pose. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. If you're able to press the elbows against the thighs, press back as you lift the heart and lengthen the spine. And you can always sit on books or blocks here, or put a blanket under the heels. Then bringing the hands down, carefully come back to sit. And extending the legs out in front, bring the right knee in towards the chest, right foot to the outside of the left thigh. You can keep the left leg extended or bend the knee, but make sure your hips stay level with the earth and the spine is still lengthening and not curving to the side. Wrap the left arm around the shin, right hand to the forearm, and then as you hug the knee in, keep lifting the heart, lengthening the spine. Allow that right hip to relax for a couple of breaths. And then bring the right fingers back behind you. Inhale the left arm overhead, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist towards the right side. You might bring the left hand around or hook the elbow. Keep the hips and the shoulders level with the earth, the spine lengthening, and the breath steady. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fish pose, or half spinal twist. Inhale, back to center. You You might do the funky breakdance switcheroo, walking the hands around, pivoting the feet, and coming to the other side. Or you can just switch your legs. You can extend the right leg or bend the right knee. But again, make sure the hips stay level with the earth. Wrap the right arm around the left shin. Bring the left hand to the forearm. As you inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, hug the knee in. Take a couple of breaths here and allow your left hip to relax. Then bring the left fingertips back behind you. Inhale the right arm overhead, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist towards the left side. You can bring the right hand around or hook the elbow. Keep the hips and shoulders level with the earth, spine lengthening, and the breath steady. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fish pose, or half spinal twist. Inhale back to center, and then come onto your back. And bend the knees. You can bring the heels in close to the seat. Elbows next to the ribs, fingers pointing up. Walk your shoulders in closer together. And then press down with the feet, the elbows, and the shoulders, lifting the hips, coming up for Setu Bandha. Setu Bandha Sargasana, or bridge pose. And then bringing the hips back down, bring the knees into the chest. And wrap your arms around the legs. Give yourself a good hug as you gently rock a little from side to side. And then reaching between the knees, grab a hold of the bottom of the feet around the outside edges. Bring the feet more over the knees. Pull down on the feet as you press the feet against the hands for happy baby. And feel free to rock a little from side to side. Then release the legs straight out of the mat for Shavasana. And I'm going to leave you in Shavasana, so just make sure you're comfy with the legs just apart, arms just away from the body, the palms facing out. And if you want to use a blanket or get some warmer clothes on, feel free. And closing the eyes, make sure your neck and your lower back are comfy.